Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, My Latin Life. Today we're diving into something a little different, a review of a social app called Crema Social. If you've ever thought about meeting new people in a more unique way, Crema Social is an app you should definitely take a look at. So instead of traditional dating apps with chats and messages, this app lets you connect with others over a virtual meal. So let's talk about how it works, what makes it different, why it's gaining popularity worldwide, and why you might want to give it a try. Quick asterisk, Crema Social is brought to you by the same people as Language Blend. And Language Blend has been a sponsor of the podcast for like a year now. And now Crema Social is sponsoring our podcast as well. So I said, hey, why don't I put together a little video, do a little review of the app. So yeah, this is 100% totally biased, but it's probably one of the only video reviews of Crema Social out there. So let's give it a go. So what is Crema Social? It's a social networking app, dating app really, where the focus is on creating connections through virtual dining experiences. Rather than swiping left or right, you can invite someone to join you for a virtual meal and have a conversation over video. The app even delivers meals to both of you in different locations so that you can enjoy a real-time dining experience without leaving your home. It's kind of like having lunch or dinner with a friend or potential partner, only you're doing it virtually. So let's break down some key features of Crema Social that help it stand out among competing dating apps and traditional apps. So one is it's really more video-based connections. So the old school apps were focused on texting and, photo-based profiles, but Crema puts an emphasis on video chats. This makes it easier to get to know someone in a more personal and authentic way. And honestly, I think this is pretty revolutionary. I have no idea why the other apps haven't implemented this so far, because everybody knows what it's like to get catfished. The photos look different from the person, and with Facetune, it's even more ridiculous these days. So I think video really helps save you time and really helps you know that the person you're investing in, that's what they actually look like, and you kind of get more of the vibe and more of the personality as well. The second thing is this whole virtual meal idea. So you can send a virtual meal invitation to someone you're interested in, and the app arranges the meal delivery for both of you. It's a fun shared experience that breaks the ice and lets you connect over food. So at least there's kind of something going on, right? Another cool thing is it has AI translation for global users. So Crema is perfect for connecting with people from different countries and backgrounds, and it has AI-powered live translation, so you can chat with anyone no matter their language. This makes it ideal for those wanting to expand their social circles internationally, date internationally. Maybe you're in Latin America, but your Spanish isn't totally on point yet. I like that it has this AI aspect of it, because I think everybody who's traveled Latin America has kind of been there, where you're on WhatsApp or you're on these apps and you're like copy pasting stuff from Google Translate. And by the way, a lot of the times Google Translate's wrong. But something that's native to the actual app itself, where I can avoid flipping back and forth, between apps, that's obviously an improvement. The fourth thing that stood out to me was video profiles. So kind of back to the first point, but instead of static pictures, Crema allows users to present themselves through video, giving a more genuine feel to the profiles. You get a better sense of somebody's personality right from the start. So not only are the chats video-based chats, but the profiles are video-based profiles. So it's just so much better. You're collecting so much more data points about the people you're interacting with, if to see if it's a good fit, right? Anyway, you get it. And then the next thing that stood out to me was you match based on interests. So Crema lets you connect with people based on shared interests, making it easier to find like-minded friends or even potential love interests, right? And I think the way that interests are done on Crema Social is better than I've seen it in the past. Okay, so those are the things that stood out to me. Let's get into kind of how to actually use Crema Social. So using Crema is actually pretty simple. Download the app. It's available on both iOS and Android, so you can easily grab it from the App Store or the Google Play Store right now. Go do that. We actually have a link in the description, by the way, where it's like a My Latin Life affiliate code. So it'll track things. So, if you could use that one, it's appreciated, but it doesn't really matter either way. And then, so you download the app. The next thing you're going to do is create a profile. So upload a video, showcase your interests, and get ready to meet new people. Okay. Next, you're going to send invitations. Once you find someone you want to connect with, send them a meal invitation. The app takes care of meal delivery logistics. So all you have to do is enjoy the experience. And that's honestly huge that the app takes care of the logistics, because I don't want to have to be, like telling the girl or like, oh yeah, the food's arriving, like it'll be there in 2 minutes type of thing. I like that Crema is just taking care of the whole thing. I don't have to worry about it. It saves a lot of time, saves a lot of mental bandwidth. So that's really smart. And then the next step is you start the video chat. So after both of you receive your meals, you can hop on a video call and start chatting. The app supports live translations if needed, so language is never a barrier. Cool? So why does Crema stand out? Well, as you can probably tell by now, Crema isn't just another social app. It's all about creating genuine connections through a shared experience. The combination of video calls, meal sharing, and live translations sets it apart from other social or dating apps. It's especially a great way for people who want to break the routine of texting and dive into a more personal way of meeting new people. And if you get on this now, if you get on it early, you're going to be the first person or one of the first people that the target interest has ever had one of these video calls with. So say it's a girl, right? Like every girl has talked to hundreds of guys on these apps and on Instagram, and they're so used to they're so used to texting and maybe like sharing reels or whatever, but they're so used to primarily texting that doing these video calls, it really helps you stand out, I think, right? Where she's going to remember you a lot more, you're going to remember her a lot more than just some sort of text-based thing, even if it's with like an Instagram profile or WhatsApp profile. Here, by doing this video call, by doing this meal thing, I think you stand out way more. And it's also one of those things where the earlier you get on it, the better, because, maybe at some point this catches on in a big way, but I can see an early adopter advantage here, right? So let's get into some pros and cons of Crema Social, just to, try to be a little balanced here. So pros is it's a unique concept, right? Virtual meals, video chats, making the connections more engaging. So I think this is the most engaging that a virtual dating app has ever been, honestly. The AI translation is huge as well. The video profiles are absolutely huge. So I think they've made a number of really key innovations here. Cons, what are maybe some downsides? Well, the app is still growing, so the user base might be smaller in some regions, right? Like I think some countries are heavier than others. There's a lot of people from Colombia on the app, and there's a lot in Latin America, so it's very Latin America and America's focused right now. I think that's their focus area. I think Europe and Asia will probably come later. But the Americas is really what it's all about right now, which is relevant enough for my audience at My Latin Life because we're all about Latin America. So I think anywhere in Latin America, you're gonna see some people for sure. Another thing would be the meal delivery logistics might not be available in all areas. So maybe like depending where you live, depending where the girl or the significant other lives, ensuring that there's actually meal delivery there. I don't know if you're up in the mountains or something like that, but obviously that's something to keep in mind. And then, yeah, those are the only two things I can think of. I mean, obviously, both people have to be somewhere where meal delivery logistics exist. And obviously, it's a little bit of a chicken and an egg thing where you need the people paying for the meals, and then you also need the people, receiving the meals. But I've heard there's actually more people waiting to receive the meals than there are people paying for the meals, and vice versa. So those are some thoughts there, but I think I would really have to get more into the details to know more about the cons. Honestly, I have a long-term girlfriend, so I shouldn't really be on this app. Maybe I should to keep her on her toes. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, you guys will have to tell me about your experiences in the comments to this video because I'm actually curious to hear about it. Okay, so final thoughts. Should you try Crema Social? If you're tired of the typical social and dating apps and want something more interactive, Crema Social is worth checking out. The concept of sharing a meal while meeting new people, coupled with the video chat and the translation features, makes it stand out in a crowded app market, and a crowded dating app market especially. So I think it's a fun, casual way to make new friends or potential dating connections, and you might even meet someone from halfway around the world, right? And especially if you're planning to visit a country in the near future, let's just say maybe you're still in Canada or the US, and you're heading down to Colombia soon, you're heading down to Argentina soon. This is a perfect app for you to start making some connections so that when you land in the new country in Latin America, you already have some people that you've built connections with that you can hit up and maybe move that to an in-person thing, right? So if you've tried Crema Social, let us know your thoughts in the comments. I'd honestly be very interested to hear people's comments. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more My Latin Life, everything Latin America. Check out the podcast as well, and we'll see you in the next